What's going on, guys? It is me, Parkzy here, and welcome to my draft breakdown of the DGBA, the new tournament that I have just joined. Yes, I have joined 3 tournaments, and I am your coach of the Armagh, Armaldos, not your Armaldos. Not in this draft, no way, Jose. But I have drafted a team, I've drafted half the team, and Has has drafted the other half. Basically, what has happened was that we were deciding to start this at 9. Yeah, we were going to plan this event at 9, and basically it was going to be a speed draft. So basically everyone had 5 minutes to pick their Pokemon, and then the next person would be able to pick. If you did not pick your Pokemon in that 5-minute space, then you would be disqualified, and then that means your pick would then be skipped. And until you joined the server, then you could actually pick your Pokemon. Unfortunately, or fortunately I should say, that actually didn't happen, I do believe. I think maybe someone went overtime, but that was because of work, so that was fine. But as you can see, I've got Darkrai on my team, which I will get to in a second. UPC, I'm pretty the DGBA, I'm in so many leagues right now. But the DGBA, pretty standard league, 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, tier 2 3s, a tier 4, a tier 5, a mega, and 4 free slots. So, going into this draft, I didn't really have an idea, which is a pretty bad idea. I was pretty sleepy because by the second pick it was around 10 o'clock my time. So, I actually fell asleep. Basically, Has was messaging me. I was texting him because I couldn't get very good reception from where I was at around 11 o'clock. So, yeah, Has was taking all the picks from me, so shout out to my boy Has. But by the time of like 11 or half 11 or something along those lines, I just fell asleep and I forgot to start picking. So Has did an amazing job of drafting a team for me. I was allowed infinite picks though because I did fall asleep like the idiot I am. So I dropped 2 Pokemon that he picked up from me. But I have to say thank you so much, Has. You are a lifesaver. You're a great friend. So thank you so much for that, but let's get straight into this. I've just recorded my video with the UPC draft breakdown. If you have not seen that, then I will probably leave it in the description. But anyway, we're going to be kicking it off with Darkrai, probably one of the strongest Pokemon in the Tier 1 category, in my personal opinion. This Pokemon is not Ubers for a reason. Now, you might be saying, Darkrai, oh my goodness, you're going to put everyone to sleep, you're going to kill everyone, oh my goodness, I'm going to just why, this is broken. But no, this Pokemon is debatably broken. There's 2 things that this Pokemon is not allowed, so that it is a little bit fair on the other people. Firstly, this Pokemon is not allowed any sleep-inducing moves, so I am not allowed Hypnosis, or I guess Dark Void to a lesser extent. Also, I'm pretty sure this Pokemon gets Grass Whistle, so I'm not allowed that. Basically, any move that can put opponents to sleep, I am not allowed that. So, unfortunately, Bad Dreams is basically a useless ability. But hey, we're used to useless abilities in Pokemon with some other Pokemon, which I will not name, like Kangaskhan getting Scrappy, which there's a whole 4 or 5 Pokemon that are actually usable in PU, which are Ghost type. But anyway, Darkrai, it gets a pretty wide move pool, I'm not gonna lie. He does get essentially every move in every single, or a move for every single type. This thing even gets Incinerate as a fire type move. It gets a fire type move with Incinerate. Why this Pokemon gets Incinerate, I do not know, but I can do a lot of things with it. Plus also its speed stat of 125 is insane because it does make me a huge Scarf threat. And since my Z user, of course, as I did mention before, its move pool is insane. It has a base 135 special attack, and you might be thinking with these stats, I'm like, you know, this Pokemon's frail. But no, this Pokemon is not frail at all. Like, to knock it out, you probably need to have a stab super effective move to knock it out. Plus also its attack stat really is not that bad. Base 90 is pretty good, and I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong, yes, this Pokemon does get Stab Knockoff, which is very nice, and Stab Pursuit, so I can Pursuit Trap. The second thing is, I already mentioned previously that I do not get any sleep-inducing moves. I also do not get Nasty Plot on this Darkrai, which is very unfortunate. But to be honest, that's not really too much of a setback because I do get Calm Mind, and in some regards, Calm Mind is better than Nasty Plot because it does boost your special defense stat by 1, so you can take special hits on pretty good, like, you know, most fairy type moves are special attack so if you can mind that once, then you should be able to take a Moonblast no problemo. This Pokemon does get Sludge Bomb. I'm not sure if it gets Sludge Wave. I wouldn't really be trying Sludge Wave anyway, because Sludge Bomb's poison chance is super nice, but it does get things like Sludge Bomb for fairy types on the special end. It gets Poison Jab for fairy types on the physical end, and also I can set up on the physical side with my usable base 90 attack stat. I can set up with Sword Stance. That's actually pretty nice. I'll probably be using Sword Stance to knock off Poison Jab, something else, Darkrai, in the near future, so definitely make sure to go check out for that. And hopefully I can pull off some sweeps for Darkrai. I'm hoping this Pokemon is a top 10 killer, in my opinion. I know I'm not the best at Pokemon, as you can probably tell from my Talonflame Sand team in the SDL, but I'm hoping that with this Pokemon and its incredible speed stat and stabs, and also its incredible move pool, I can do quite a lot of this. It also is a stall breaker, by the way. It does get taunt, so a fast taunt is really, really good. I cannot stress how good a fast taunt really is. Being able to stop your opponent from setting up Stealth Rocks, being able to stop your opponent from setting up with Dragon Dance, Calm Mind, Swords Dance, things along those lines. And also it stops your opponent from going for things like Toxic, T-Wave, Will-O-Wisp, things along those lines. So it is super nice to have a really fast taunt user. Okay, so next up I decided to pick Garchomp, which is a tier 1. So it actually goes into my free slot and I lose 180 of my 400 points. So now for the 3 of my remaining Pokemon, I can only use 220 points unless I draft a low tier Mega. So Strong Jaw, my Garchomp, is an incredible Pokemon. If you want me to tell you about all the Pokemon from old generations that have lasted as a top tier threat to this generation, Garchomp is one of the very few that I would name. I think Gengar is also another one, Magnezone, Mamoswine, I guess, to a certain extent, Weavile, Zapdos, definitely Mew, things along those lines. But Garchomp is definitely up there. Base 102 speed is absolutely fantastic. For speed creeping, those base 100s plus also 130 attack is insane. I do get set up with Sword Stance, and Sword Stance Garchomp is nothing to laugh at. But basically, a plus 2 Garchomp can just wreck things if you're not carrying a physically defensive fairy type Pokemon. Sorry, that's Discord going off, which I'll go quickly shut off, because I do have it on my phone, so I'll be getting the notification through there. But, you know, if you're not running a physically defensive fairy type Pokemon, then you really cannot take this Pokemon stabs on. Plus also get Poison Jab, so it's not like if you are a physically defensive fairy, you're going to be living much at plus 2. Garchomp does supply me with a Stealth Rock setter, which is one of the very few things that Darkrai does not get. I know, Stealth Rocks. I am also lacking a Hassle Remover, but we'll get to that in a second. Garchomp's ability, it's alright. It gets Rough Skin, so Rough Skin Rocky Helmet is pretty nice for defensive Garchomp with things like Stealth Rocks. It also has a phaser with Roar, and also if any physical attackers want to come in, then they can happily chew away at my Rough Skin and my Rocky Helmet and take that nice 24% of chip damage. And if they're life forfeit, that means that they're taking an extra 10%. So basically they're taking a third of their health just by hitting this Pokemon with probably a U-turn, I'm suspecting, because you get so much momentum. But it does get some cool coverage moves like Fire Fang and things like that. It also gets Aqua Tail, which is pretty nice. If you guys do not tell already, I'm just the cold, so sorry if I sound a little bit weird. But Garchomp, great Pokemon around base 100, but does outspeed base 100, which is super nice. Gets up Stealth Rocks, and a very good Dragon type. I know if I did not pick up this Pokemon in this round, that it would have gone, so I'm glad that I got it. So guys, my next pick is Mega Aggron, and Mega Aggron is an absolutely insane Pokemon. I think it's, I wouldn't say it's overrated, but it's definitely one of the Megas that finally gets the appreciation it deserves. Klungo, based off the Mega Aggron that Mr. Talent has and the WBA, is an absolutely physically defensive nightmare. If you just cannot take this mon down on the physical side, I have seen opponents bring like specially offensive Arcanine with Flamethrower to fight this thing. Even though Arcanine isn't a special attacker, you have to bring it for an Aggron because you just aren't hitting anything with that 230 defense. Not to mention Filter is like Solid Rock for Rhyperior. It weakens super effective moves by a quarter, so that means if you want to hit me with a fire move that would have done 100%. Instead, now it's only doing 75% because of filter. Its Spadef stat really is not that bad, having base 80, and I can invest into it if I want. Plus its attack is absolutely insane, having a base 140 attack stat. Gets Stealth Rocks, so it's another Stealth Rock setter, another Phaser with Roar, and a very good Toxic and Thunder Wave Mon as well. Plus also it is a very good curse sweeper because it really does not need that speed, and once you get a curse up, even if you're invested or not, that defense stat is just going sky high, and if your opponent wants to hit you on the physical side with +1 curse, then be my guest, like, you're doing no damage. And plus it does have that base 140 attack like I did mention previously, so curse sweeping is very viable. Also it does get edge quake and stab heavy slam, plus also avalanche to make use of its extremely slow, fat body. But I can't wait to use Mega Aggron. It's one of those Pokemon that you really want to use, and I just know I'm going to be terrible with it, but I'm going to have a fun time using Mega Aggron. I don't care if I'm bad at it or not. I don't care if I get 6-0 magically every time I bring Mega Aggron. I will enjoy using it, definitely. Okay guys, so this is probably the second last Pokemon that I actually had control over fully. So I was messaging Haz and I was like, yeah, I want Toxapex. Has it gone yet? Because of course I didn't have any Wi-Fi, so I couldn't check Discord. But surprisingly, Toxapex is not gone. So I was like, you know what? I'll pick up Toxapex. My teammate does have a ground weakness, but do not worry, guys. Haz hooked me up. I'm actually going to. I forgot to rename my Toxapex, but oh well. Toxapex actually falls into tier 2, which is incredible value for such a good wall. Probably one of the biggest walls I know you, apart from Chansey and maybe Clefable, maybe Celesteela, but you know, Toxapex is actually one of the very few switch-ins to Lopunny, being able to take its stabs pretty well. I can take High Jump Kick, I can take stab return decently. It doesn't really fear Thunder Punch that much, however, it does do about 30-40%. So that does hurt as well. Actually, my nickname for this Pokemon is pretty funny. It is Mold Small, which is in reference to Undertale. So this Pokemon gets some pretty nice moves, but first we have to stand in awe and appreciate its defense and special defense. Base 152 defense and base 142 special defense. It's absolutely insane. It's such a tanky Pokemon. Plus with a regenerator and Black Sludge, like, you're hardly taking any damage, and then you can just switch out immediately. Gives me a Toxic setter, so that's very good if I want a hazard stack. And also Baneful Bunker is basically a protect, but if Pokemon come into contact with me, I can poison them. Haste is very good if my opponent wants to set up on Toxapex, because let's be honest, Toxapex isn't the most offensive Pokemon. It kind of is set up fodder, but I do get Haste, so that means that my opponent has to think twice about clicking things like Dragon Dance, Swords Dance, and Calm Mind. I do get Dual Screens, and also if I want to be a little bit cheeky, I can run Merciless Toxapex with Liquidization, so I always get a crit Liquidization, and I might even get that 20% defense drop. Toxapex is just so bulky, and I hope to I hope to draft like another regenerator mon with it, and I guess you guys are gonna have to see how that goes. Okay guys, so my next pickup was Pancakes, the Arcanine, and this is basically the last Pokemon that I told Haz to pick up. I was discussing a few more Pokemon with him. I kind of wanted Tangela for my Regenerator core as well, but Arcanine is a very good Pokemon, having probably the best priority move in the game debatably, which is Extreme Speed. It cannot be out-prioritized by anything, and it is base 80 power, so that's pretty nice. Fire type Pokemon have proved themselves time and time again to be really good. Intimidate is very nice for physical type attackers, as if physical type attackers do not struggle with my team already. I get base 110 attack and a base 100 attack stat, which is pretty good. Also, I do get things like Wild Charge for water type Pokemon if I do want a chance switching in, and also Bulldoze on Arcanine can take on opposing Fire type Pokemon pretty well. It's actually pretty cool to be using Bulldoze Arcanine because you do get a lower speed as well. But I do get base 95 speed, which isn't the worst, isn't the best, but it's around the middle. Means I can now space some pretty big walls, and if any rock types want to come in, then of course I can hit them up with a close combat very easily and knock their attack down by 1. can't wait to be using Arcanine, but unfortunately I feel like Arcanine is going to be, like on most teams, resorting to a bulky Will-O-Wisp Morning Sun wall onto my team, just because, you know, I've got quite a few offensive mons like Garchomp and Darkrai, and I kinda need the bulk right now. Yes, okay, I have an obsession with food, okay, don't judge me. Well, my round 6 pick was Aromatisse, and this is one of the picks that I was mainly discussing with Haz, so when I fell asleep, he kind of just picked this for me. Well, he was like spamming me like, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, but I fell asleep, I can't help it. Things like Florges, Sylveon, Togekiss, they all went, so I had to resort to a very low tier sorry, not a tier mega, a very low tiered fairy. Also, I didn't mention previously, but Agon is a low tier mega, so I do get 40 points from it, by the way. But Aromatisse does let me get cleric abilities. It has a base 101 HP stat with a base 29 speed stat, which makes it a prime Pokemon to be using Trick Room. The base 101 HP isn't that bad. I can fire off some decently large wishes, and Heal Bell on Aromatisse is pretty nice. Its stats don't really seem appealing, but it's kind of like one of those, it's kind of like Clawitzer in a way. It's like, its stats don't look good, you can never OHKO it for some reason, it's just so annoying. Its base 99 special attack's pretty good, so I can fire off things like Style Shocks and Stab Moonblast for whatever Pokemon want to come in against me. I'm pretty sure this thing gets, yeah, okay, it gets Aroma Veil, which basically means I cannot be taunted, so it's basically like having a mental herb on this Pokemon. I cannot be taunted, which is nice, so I can go for wishes and heal bells and protects for free. It's a pretty good toxic mon as well, and like I said previously, I could have waited a round or two, but hey, Haz did what he needed to, and I do not blame him one bit for doing that. It also gives me a pretty nice round out to my Fairy Dragon Steel Core, being Garchomp, Mega Aggron, and Aromatisse. And hopefully I can bring Aromatisse quite a few matches, because right now it's an alright Pokemon. It's like one of those Pokemon that you would bring if you have no other alternatives. Actually, wait, I just forgot something. Okay, I want you to all forget what I just did, okay? So the document, I forgot to reload the document. I actually swapped out Aromatisse, okay? It was a prank, guys, it was a prank, okay? I was just testing to see if you all knew me, okay? So instead of picking up Aromatisse, I decided to pick up Slurpuff. It's fine. Originally it was Aromatisse, but when I realized Slurpuff wasn't picked up, I decided to pick it up. It gives me another decent Wish Passer. Its HP is a little bit lower, but it does give me Unburden, which does mean I can go for like Belly Drum Unburdens. It also has a pretty wide move pool, having things like Flamethrower, Energy Ball, I think it gets Cotton Guard, Calm Mind, Belly Drum, Play Rough, Drain Punch, so not that bad utility. You can also get Energy Ball if I want to use it. It's a cleric on its own, it does get Wish and Heal Bell, and I'm gonna call this one McFlurry. You can tell I put so much effort into this video, but yeah, McFlurry. I hope I can pick off a sweep or two with Citrus Berry on Burden, because Slurpuff is one of those Pokemon that I've seen it pull off sweeps before, and it's so cool when you pull off sweeps with it. Even if you are like a person viewing the sweep, you just feel so awesome. You just feel like you're so cool for watching the person set up with Slurpuff. Okay guys, so my next pickup was Hitmontop down in Tier 4. Hitmontop is one of those Pokemon that, you know, it gets outclassed by Hitmonlee, so people might think. But actually Hitmontop is the Pokemon that I'm actually looking for quite a lot. It does round out my Intimidate core pretty nicely with Arcanine, and gives me a Rabbit Spinner, which so far my team desperately needs, because things like Stealth Rocks are pretty obnoxious for my team, plus those and Spikes are annoying. Hitmontop is a pretty good low tier spinner, I will admit. Tier 4 spinner, good fighting type, can also run Technician, Moth Punch, Bullet Punch, things along those lines. It can also be, I guess, a setup sweeper with Bulk Up, But usually I'm just going to be running Dreadle, my Hitmontop with Assault Vest and Rapid Spin, and maybe like things like Mach Punch maybe for priority and things like that. But it does get a pretty good attack stat, base 95 defense stat boosted by Intimidate, and a base 110 for death stat, which if I do decide to run Assault Vest with can be huge. Speed isn't the greatest, yet it isn't the worst. I mean, I can outspeed some walls, and I can break through rock types and force switches, which is nice. Unfortunately, Hitmontop is what I like to call completely walled by a ghost type, which basically means if my opponent has a ghost type, then they spin block me, they resist my fighting stab, and the best attack I think I have for it is maybe Earthquake, which is not going to be doing a lot, especially if it's Mismagius. I can't even hit Mismagius with a Earthquake. So my next pickup was Jupiter, the Mismagius. I was talking about Hitmontop would be completely destroyed by Mismagius. So originally Has had drafted for me Rotom, but I decided to pick up Mismagius instead because it gives my team some nice speed. Jumping from Guard Jump up to Mismagius to Darkrai, which is it's decent speed tiering, I would say. Oh no, it's not base 110, it's base 105, but still, helps out my speed tiering. This Pokemon actually gets a pretty wide move pool, having moves it doesn't really need, if I'm being honest. It gets Dazzling Gleam, Power Gem, Energy Ball, I think it gets Dark Pulse, yeah, it gets Dark Pulse as well, so it's staring me right in the face, I'm a flippin' idiot. It also can be a Cleric, because it does get Heal Bell, a pretty fast Cleric, and gives me a Spin Blocker, which is pretty decent. Will-O-Wisp is always nice in case I don't want to run it on Arcanine, and also can be a sweeper with Calm Mind. Its speed and its special attack stat is nice, and also can tank quite a few hits with its special defense stat. It does also get a fast Destiny Bond, which is nice in case I want to bring my attacker down with me. So that is all for Jupiter. Okay, so my round 9 pick was Reuniclus, and Reuniclus actually gets Regenerator. Two good moves or abilities it does get is Magic Guard, which means it cannot be hurt by entry hazards, toxic, Will-O-Wisp, things along those lines, and it also gets Regenerator, so I now have a nice Regenerator core with it, and Toxic Package if I so do wish. It's got some pretty good stats. It can actually tank quite a few hits with its defense and especially and a special defense stat because of that large HP stat, and also can hit pretty hard with that base 125 special attack stat. Its speed allows it to be a prime Pokemon for Trick Room, and also I can use moves like Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, things like that. I was considering Reuniclus again Nemesis to be my Z user because Reuniclus is a pretty good Z user, but at the end of the day Darkrai just has so much coverage I cannot say no to it, honestly. Reuniclus, another Camline Spreeper, which is pretty good. And I haven't really used Reuniclus that much, not even in UU, but you know, I use it a lot in RU and I tank quite a few hits, so hopefully I can tank quite a few hits in this. Oh yeah, so my round 10 pick, somehow this Pokemon did not get drafted. I'm not sure if it was round 10 exactly, but it was around round 10, round 9, around there. So somehow Shaman did not get drafted for quite a long time in this league. And I do not know why, because Stab Seed Flares are insane. Being able to decrease your opponent's special defense stat by 2 stages. Let me go double check if it's 2 stages or 1 stage. Yeah, lowers it by 2 stages. And I get a 40% chance for that, which is nice. Natural Cure allows me to take Toxics if I do so switch in. As you did see with me in the Battle of Hughesman, he can take Toxic with his Shaman when I used it with my Alumomola, and he can switch out pretty easily if he wanted to. Shaman is one of those nice Pokemon because it gets a full base 100 move pool, or sorry, fully base 100 stats, so that means I can run it especially defensive, physically offensive, fully physically defensive, fully specially defensive, speedy, bulky, I don't know. But it does get some pretty nice moves with Earth Power, Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Stab, Seed Flare, and I also get some Seed if I do so choose. So I'm like picking up Tangrowth over Shaman, but oh well. And actually Tangela was picked up. I'm surprised. I thought that no one would pick up Tangela. I thought that I had that Regenerator core locked down. But no, someone had to pick up Tangela for some reason, so I don't know why, but I might be able to sort out a trade. Okay, so my last pickup was Audino, which actually pairs up pretty nicely with Toxapex, and finally I got a regenerator core, which is half reliable, even though I'm going to be bringing Audino probably only 3 weeks or 4 weeks at the most. But Audino does give me a pretty reliable cleric, having a base 103 HP stat, and a pretty good defense being a base 86. Its attack leaves a bit to be desired, but I can use Calm Mind if I do wish. And also I get a pretty wide move pool of things like Fire Blast, Acid Beam, Blizzard, Dream Punch, Knockoff, Return, which is Stab. And I'm pretty sure I get all the elemental punches as well, which is nice. Also, I do get a few pieces of Trickery with Encore, if I do not believe this Pokemon is not, gets Encore. And also, as I said previously, it is a Cleric, so it does get Wish and Heal Bell. And the regenerator core of Toxapex is pretty nice because I can switch into this mon if Toxapex fears any psychic moves. I can go into my special defense of Audino, and if Audino fears any fighting type moves, I can go ahead and play Toxapex to sponge up those fighting type moves very easily. So I like this team. Definitely not the best team I have drafted. I'm gonna have to give that to my UPC draft. But, you know, still a pretty decent team. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe to me if you already haven't, and also turn notifications on so you never miss one of my videos, and you never miss one of these battles that I will be participating in. And also comment some nice stuff down below. Thanks guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.